everyone. How's it going? Thank you for hearing my submission. I live in Brindua and I'm making this submission in my capacity as a private resident. Purposes of full disclosure, I'd like to note I'm an employee of the operations team, the Three Waters unit at council. This is fully in my private capacity. So I've got 5 items from my written submission I'll be discussing today. Number 1, I support lowering the uniform annual general charge. Based on the understanding it will mean more expensive residential properties pay a higher share of the rates than they currently do. I believe this is fair on an equity basis and helps reflect the current cost of living crisis. Number 2, just about the proposal to look into selling some council assets. I believe selling council assets should only be done as a last possible resort and only after a report with input from each of the main departments at council, such as transport, parks, facilities, water, community boards and libraries, has confirmed that the property will almost certainly not be needed in the medium to long term. Selling assets should only be considered if there's a significant shortfall in funding, as buying specific or small plots of land in the future will likely be quite expensive. Number 3, regarding the city vacant differential or the higher rates for vacant commercial land, I support extending this to the other listed areas and also investigating whether it could be beneficial in other areas of the city, including empty residential land. Because a lot of our land was red zoned, after a lot of our land was red zoned, we still have some pockets of prime habitable land that is empty and has been sitting empty for years, and that is potentially contributing to challenges in the housing market. Number 4, water billing. I'm opposed to increasing the daily allocation to 900 litres per day. With the current allowance of 700 litres per day, water use has decreased by about 10%, as reported in the news. This clearly shows the excess water charges are working, and recent news articles mention the cost savings to both capital expenditure and operational expenditure that the reduced demand on the city network will lead to in the future. The current 700 litres per day allowance has been consulted on twice already, and consulting a third time could be seen as a less than optimal use of community, resident and council resources. 2 previous rounds of consultation are pretty clear. Taking numbers from a public presentation document that you guys saw in, I think, February this year, out of those who provided an opinion, 60% were in favour, 60% were in favour of the 700 litre per day allowance, 34% were opposed, and 6% proposed alternative options. So that was just whether it's a 700 litre per day allowance or no charging at all. 60% is quite a significant majority, and as reported in the media as well, keeping the 700 litre per day allowance aligns with staff advice. Number 5, regarding the total rates increase being set at 5.68%. This is, in my opinion, a bit too low, given recent reporting on council staff surveys, both last year and this year. Staff have been reported to be leaving in high numbers, with a survey score on if staff think remuneration is appropriate to the market down to 31%. For comparison, the benchmark score for that same question in other local government agencies is 50%. So 31 is 50%. I've lived here for over a decade, and as a ratepayer and a homeowner here, I want my council to be full of committed and knowledgeable staff who do the best they can for the city and help make our council the highest performing it can be. However, articles about last year's resident survey say resident satisfaction of their council is at a 15-year low. Looking after staff is important in any organisation. They're a core part of any services any organisation delivers, and they play a big part into how well they are delivered. Those are the key points from my submission, with a bit of new information included as a result of the staff survey released last week. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that was very, very good. Anyone got any questions? No, very, very good indeed. Thank you, Robert, for coming in. Brilliant.
Just thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, how we've been giving some feedback. Can we get under the capital program the point around staff retention, but more about the availability of people to do the work? This is one of the points that I did make when we adopted the draft. Mm-hmm. So can we get some sense of, what the shortages are that are leading to delays in terms of capacity or contractors availability.
Yep, Dawn's making a note of that. Thank you. Thank you. Righty-ho. Murray Jones, please.